So what about how to design a website? Well, it all goes back, again, to keywords and content. You probably all know, well, the phrase on-page SEO. Yeah? Well, that's all about the link between the keywords that people are ultimately the keywords that people are typing into that box and how Google perceives the pages that you will display. And the more there is a marrying up between the perception that the keywords that are being looked for are appearing on the pages that you have typed, the better your chances of being found. So learning how to do research. This is a particularly good resource. It's free, moz.com, but make sure you go through to the learn section, in particular SEO. What Moz will present you with, like all these sites, the landing page that you usually hit first of all is sign up. Yeah? But if you look along the bar, there is the word learn. If you click on that, there's a whole stack of free guides. Loads and loads and loads of stuff. And it is all about that iteration, that process of looking at words. So if I was to start using some of those higher ranking words, go back to the AdWords tool, put them in, see what kinds of searches are resulting. Yeah? Are they the kinds of words that I really want to use as the main keywords for things like my homepage? Or are people familiar with long tail search? The long tail is literally, it's to do with the frequency. So it's the terms that would be relevant to the homepage stuff, but will be actually entered into the search engine less often. But it all helps to add to the credibility of the page, which is important. And learn how to do your keyword research. I'm not going to tell you now how to be an expert in this. And, you know, there's loads of people out there, and there's loads of good advice, particularly with this, that will teach you how to do that. But it's key. It's key. You can't have a functioning website without having worked out what your customers want. Bottom line. And it starts with keyword research. Yes, it has to look good. Yes, it has to have all the bells and whistles. Yes, it doesn't need photographs of you, and we'll come on to all of that sort of thing later. Yes, it's got to look the part. But you won't get the traffic in the first place unless the fundamentals are right. And that involves understanding and using keywords. So, looking at that, what might be some groupings? Well, certainly, if you look down that list, I don't know if you can see it at the back, but we've got 18. The first 18 sets are pretty much, I haven't counted them to be honest, but I could say 7. Pardon?
7?
7.
My computer on this one.
Oh yeah, right.
7 of them.
Yeah, 17 of them. Thank you. You're quicker than me. That's not difficult though. 17 out of them have all got computer slow. So it looks like a grouping of words around slow computers, making my computer run faster, or slow computers is this particular term that's being used, it's telling you, it's crying out for content. Yeah? So if your web pages, don't go away and do this, but think about it clearly and do your own research. If your web pages for your own website don't have stuff about slow computers and about what to do about it, even if it's just to come and talk to you, because remember, it's all about being on the web is the new local yellow pages. Yeah? Even if you're just saying, look, you can do these sorts of things, but it's best if you pop in. Even if that's all you do, you will still attract more traffic to your website. And yeah, when you get through thinking about what are those groupings going to be, start thinking about the content. So before you've even thought about, well, I'm going to have this page and it's going to have a blue header and it's going to have the words here and a picture of this. And no. What are you going to write on the page? Because Google doesn't care about the colours. Google doesn't care about the images in as much as it can't see what the image is. All right, it can see the tag that you place on the image, but it can't see what the image is. So all of that artistic design doesn't yet matter. It will do, but not yet. And that's why I made the point earlier about jumping to these templates, jumping to these nice looking flash designs is way too early. You have to think about the words first. Draft and test your content. There are tools you can use. There's a website called Word Counter I use for putting blogs in when I do my best to optimize the blogs that I do. I take all the text of my blog, I stick it in Word Counter, and I look at the densities of those words, and I use those words as the meta tags. Yeah? Because that's what the tool is seeing as being the most relevant parts of my text. And the more that you line that up, the better. I'm making assumptions about what people want to hear right now. Maybe that's not always the best thing. But it's an iterative process again. Okay, all of this is iterative. You may write the copy, put it into a keyword tool. Oh, I wanted the word on I wanted the slow computer stuff to be higher than it is. Right, I need to mention it more. I need to improve the way that I refer to it. And only once you're on track, that you believe you're on track to attract the traffic that you want, start thinking about your graphic design. Yeah, it matters. I'm not saying it doesn't. But you can't jump to the website until you know what you're going to put on it. You really can't. And what you want to portray, ultimately, remember, search is the new local yellow pages, is an image of a local trusted business. Now there are many ways of doing that. It's going to involve things like photographs of you. Yeah? It's going to involve things like pictures of your shop or your business. It's going to involve lots of stuff that make you look genuinely real. Yeah? And not distant. That's the goal that you're trying to achieve. You're looking for people to pop in. So, yeah, they look nice, they look reasonable, I'll go and see them. Well, you can only look nice and reasonable if they know what you look like. Yeah? Pure and simple. But I do see an awful lot of business websites that don't have any images of the people on them. So, some more around design to inspire trust. So, yeah, your website looks the business. If it looks amateurish, it makes you look amateurish. Yeah, I'm afraid there is no getting round. Professional design does matter. You do need to look as good as you can afford to look. Yes, it is a matter of cost. It's a window into you and your business. I looked at their website, I could see what they were like. They looked like the kinds of people I would like to meet. Yeah? You've got a very powerful tool on your site to help you with that, and it's called YouTube. Because what better way to get an impression of somebody to actually hear them and see them doing stuff? Okay, it's scripted, but you still get an impression that's a damn sight better than a still photograph, that's a damn sight better than nothing at all. They look helpful, they give advice. There's proof it's the business. Yeah? Proof it's the business, things like endorsements. Evidence of social endorsement. So you see these things down the sides of websites now where Facebook's got 50 likes or 30 likes or 2 likes or whatever. Yeah? There's been a Pinterest pin. All of that sort of stuff tells people that others are finding this site useful. That where there's any areas for comment, where people might have made a comment on a review or a blog that you've got, that it's alive, that you've responded. Yeah? That you're real people and it exists and that you're interested. It's all further evidence, because the web is so remote. Could be anywhere. And what you're trying to do is say, no, I'm on your doorstep. You'd really be daft to avoid me. And it is the business. Yeah, the website doesn't just look good. The stuff that's on it is well written, simple to follow. The advice and guidance given on how to improve the performance of your computer is easy to follow and understand. When people do it, they find that it works. God, I could do that, yeah? Because that's all about your credibility. So, I mentioned about YouTube. Here's an example of one of our customers.
Hi there, I'm Sam Gosrani from Laptop Doctors, with a specialist in laptop and desktop repairs. We can deal with any kinds of repairs, including screen replacement, motherboard repair, operating system installation, power pin repair, virus removal, and a lot more. We can also repair your iPad and iPhones. As well as repairs of laptops and desktops, we also sell new and used laptops and desktops, USB accessories, cables, chargers, and a lot more. So, for anything to do with laptops, desktops, iPads and iPhones, come to us in store, either a Kenton branch or a Pinner branch. Visit us at laptopdoctors.com or give us a call for a free estimate on 0208 909 1313.
Yeah, he seems okay, doesn't he? Yeah. Maybe it's a little bit kind of product oriented. Maybe it's a little bit kind of repair oriented. Maybe he could have given more indication about the help and advice generally he could give. I'm nitpicking. What he's done through this on his website is really give customers who might be just browsing around looking for a local supplier plenty of reason to call in. Because he seems okay, looks all right, sounds all right, and all the rest of it. YouTube's a massively powerful tool for you. You can use it as well for things like, I believe, we're going to cover off next. Yeah, promote your expertise.
You know, it's funny the amount of computers that we get here at the repair shop that are just plain dirty. You know, I think what it is, more than anything, is people just don't know how to care for their computers, so they just don't do anything. And it just gets dirtier and dirtier, and they're kind of afraid to touch it. I don't know why, but they are. So I'm going to do this little video to show you how to clean your computer, some of the products you can use, and some of the techniques I use just to keep the grime off it. A lot of it's not rocket science, but it still needs to be done, so let's get started.
I'll stop it there, because that's quite a long positions you. In a way, Yellow Pages cannot do this. This is the wonderful stuff that the web does do, and it does so very, very well. You know? So these are fantastic opportunities for you. Yeah, things like guides, downloadable guides. Now this is actually a copy of a physical guide that this customer, PC Medic in Mansfield, has produced. The bane of everyone's life, Windows 8, hate that bloody start screen. Yeah? So what did he do? He produced a little roll fold. Now he's got those in his shop. Do you know they work to the extent that people are coming in and just specifically asking for copies of them? Yeah? There's nothing on there that is rocket science. But all he has done is distill it down into a form that's readily and easily available for people to use. And he's got a few of them out with customers that he's already serviced. Other people have heard about them. He's got his business name and details on the back. It's a fabulous piece of physical marketing. But if you make it downloadable as well, you can attach a link to all your emails and so on. And all of that stuff as well will help you with your SEO because it shows your site is popular. If people are coming and downloading material from your site, that starts adding. Google likes popular sites. But there are some things to take care with. Remember we spoke, those of you who came to my previous presentation, so I spoke about how old school marketing is really doing itself no favours and ultimately killing itself, I think, or certainly its use on the internet. Things like pop-ups. There you are. I put in my search, slow computer, click on the first one, go through, land on the site. Well, this looks a good article. 5 seconds in, boom. The screen blackens out and I get a pop-up. Yeah, trying to sell me something. I might go, I don't care. I might equally go, stuff you. And I click on to one of the other links where I don't get it. And that's always the issue, isn't it? Because I've still got that list of other people I can go to. Don't like your site, I just press the back button and away I go on a different trip and you're gone. So pop-ups are bad. Like me on Facebook. It's not that getting likes on Facebook is a bad thing. It's the fact you're asking for them. How desperate are you? Are you genuinely any good? Yeah, do you only get likes because you plead? Or do people like you on Facebook because you're the real thing? So-called lead generation pages. Some of you may have heard about sort of lead generation pop-ups and so on. So you do a whole load of stuff about, let's say, making your computer run fast or free virus removal. When a person lands on that page, they're immediately hit with a pop-up that says, in return, basically it says, in return for your email, you can download the guide that I said you could get. No, I don't want your email. I don't care whether it's got a checkup in the bottom that says I'm signing up to marketing or not because I don't trust you. I've never come to you before. Why should I bother? Yeah? So lead generation, again, dangerous stuff. Anything that interrupts or makes demands, unreasonable demands on the customer. You have to do this. You have to respect that their interaction with your site is entirely at their discretion. If your content's good and right, they will like it. Yeah? They will come back. You will be in their mind as the person that's helpful. But old school marketing and the stuff that you will read on the internet will tell you, no, lead generation pages, no, pop-ups, banner ads, grab those people. And once you've got your design, how do you test it? How do you know that it's any good? You've probably all heard about sort of usability testing, UX, I think it's a sexy phrase for it. Well, who does it matter to? Does it matter to you that it looks the business, or does it matter to your customers that it looks the business and is the business? Yeah, it matters to your customers that it looks the business and is the business. So usability test it with them. Find some honest and objective customers, which you will have. You want the kinds of people that are prepared to tell you, oh, sorry, but it's a little bit bad, and this is why, or genuinely it's good, and this is why. That's the kinds of customers you want. You don't want the people who feel obliged to say it's good. Ask them some questions. What's the first thing you noticed when you landed? What really jumped out at you? Does it look cluttered? Or does it in need of more white space? That's often a sign of just pure, simple professional design. What designers are good at is where they don't put their design. It's all about the use of space. Is it hard finding information? I didn't particularly ask you to find anything. I asked you to look at my site and just wander around. When you thought of what you were going to be doing, could you find what you were looking for? Does it feel organised? Do you have to scroll too much? This whole business about above and below the fold, as it's called, which apparently is having less impact than it originally used to. People couldn't be bothered. Now they probably can't be bothered. Yeah? I would say treat it as a firm tool. Keep all the information that matters where it can be seen the moment you land. Is my site too slow for you? I've got so much flash on it takes an age to download. And what do you think? Yes, last. What do you think about the colours, the style, the layout? So a whole load of stuff that's all about what did you see first and how does it work? And then finally, does it look good? Not the other way around, which is often what a lot of people do. The first thing you say, have a look at my web. Oh, that's cool. That's nice. That's good colours. That's, yeah. It's not those things aren't important. It's just they're not the most important. Oh, sorry. And can you easily find the content information? The whole thing's been about search is the new local yellow pages. So where the hell are you? You've come up as being computer repairs in Nottingham, but I can't see the address. Yeah? Now, in actual fact, that would be unlikely to happen because Google Places, which we'll talk about in a moment, probably wouldn't rank you unless you had a Nottingham address.